Hey, again, basically with Tara. How are you, Tara?
Hi, Base. Thank you so much for the invitation and for having me here.
Mm,
Thank you to everybody that's watching us from the hackathon today, the live TV. Thank you so much for the invitation and all the efforts. I mean, we know it's a huge thing ConnectX is doing with the hackathon, so we're very excited to be here.
cool, cool, cool. So can you? For all folks don't really show this TV show right now or after in
Mhm.
replay. We are the GFC Act Late Night Show. That means when we do the GFC act on the morning or and we work and we are tired, etc. This is a time like we just enjoy and we talk about
Yes.
the day, what is was happening today, what's the great news, etc. etc. So it is the first episode today. Normally we have another episode tomorrow, same hour from 8 to for 8 p.m.
9 p.m.
to 9 p.m. CST time.
Hmm.
And yeah, so for today we will be very short. We will be like 30 minutes, yeah, but we will just like enjoy and yeah.
And
So
have a little bit of time together to tell what is happening in the hackathon and
yeah,
share a
yeah,
little bit
yeah,
of our stories and have fun
yeah,
in
yeah,
30
yeah, yeah.
minutes.
Exactly, exactly. So yeah, can you introduce yourself, Tara, for the for
Yes,
the for the viewer, for the audience?
of course. So my name is Taramaro Troconis. That's kind of like a long name. So for everybody, I can be just Tara. I'm the founder of Brains. We're an entrepreneurs network to help founders better connect with resources, founders, and mostly investors, which is what we're doing right now. So we truly focus on building meaningful connections between founders and investors to get the right interest to founders. We're very founders focused on the needs, so we're basically building tools that help founders expand their resources. So we
Mm,
all know building something from scratch is really hard, and often founders just need help in this time-consuming process.
mm-hmm.
And on top of that, we create events for founders that are related to the key things that founders need to do or need to know when they're starting a company. Um, I've been living the past 2 years in 5 different cities, so have a bit of a background of a traveler. And yeah, that's us.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So yeah, I'm very happy to have you there because we are talking on this even from like I think more than 3 4 months. Like I say,
Mhm.
hey,
Yeah.
after our the podcast because for many
After
people
the
don't.
podcast we did together
Yeah,
about
yeah.
happiness.
Exactly, exactly about having it because for many people, many folks don't know I'm a podcaster too, and I have a podcast called the Ask Basically Show, and I invite all my people to talking about happiness. And we did an amazing podcast. And I said to Tara, "Hey, Tara, you know what? I want to organize
Yeah.
a hackathon." And she said, For real?" I said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And she said, "Okay, if you want to do hackathon, let's go. You need what?"
Yeah.
I say, "Oh, I need a speaker," and she give me a lot of name and like more than 60% of the jury and mentor are from Brims, right?
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, I was really excited. We have a very strong network. So whenever you told me like, listen, we need to have some speakers, I want to get people on board. For us, that's an easy task because one of the great things about entrepreneurship is that you can always find someone that is willing to help and that is willing to open their knowledge. So I'm pretty excited that actually all those connections happen because imagine if those people have said like, no, we're not interested.
Yeah,
All those people I sent to. So that was good news for me. Um, and I'm always very excited to support these kind of initiatives to help founders.
mhm.
Um, we all need help when we're building something from scratch. It requires a lot of work and it requires a lot of determination.
Yeah, it is what it is. So, just give you some news. I
Hmm.
already give you some news in the backstage, but I will give again some news to our folks. So today was just amazing, and normally I meant to done my last video of the day, because we are starting the day, but it's a day we like continue another day. Like it's a little bit
Mhm.
awkward because we have the time zone difference. So we are start the first challenge, the Asian challenge. It was amazing, just crazy. So the Asian people right now, we are more than for 16 like create,
Yeah,
and it's just amazing, and then most of people do the job right now, and so it's little start. Like I think I don't know, but I think on Thursday, like the it will
it's
be
going to be huge.
it
Yes,
will be
I'm
huge. Like we
excited
start,
also
yeah,
because
we
it's
start a little
cleaning
bit.
up.
Exactly, we start a little bit, but it will be like amazing. So it was
Yeah.
cool, and also at 6 p.m. We are start the European challenge. We are done the live, because for start every challenge we do a little live, and we
Hmm.
are also sharing the news about the live, etc., etc. And yeah, it was yeah, very, very, very cool, and it was amazing. The only one thing I want to say, because also I want to have
Hmm.
your feedback, etc. The
Hmm.
only one thing I want to say for these days is like is good, is a kind of historical moment. I don't know for you, but seeing
Hmm.
diverse people to be together and try to innovate together, it seems like for me just a dream, because it's never happened before. And so being a part of this adventure with you is makes sense for connectivity, makes sense also for brains, and I also like in the future it will be the starting of a new movement where anybody want to make a change are there, to involve and make a great change. And yeah, so this is my day, and yeah, I don't know for you, but this was my day, and yeah, I'm very happy, and
Yeah.
I'm very happy for all the people show this video, and we'll show also the replay.
Yes, I think like what you're saying is it's completely true. I mean, normally hackathons will happen inside companies, inside universities, or will be like with your closest folks from the university. And I think one of the great things that has come um, with the online events is that you can now connect no matter where you are, no matter what you do, into building something, which is like every entrepreneur's fantasy, right? Just to jump in and work on some problems and meet amazing people and meet a team and probably like build a company. That's what we all want. Like to find matches. And then before to do that, you had to, whether be at the university, join an accelerator program, or just like go be deeply like rudely connected with the entrepreneurs ecosystem, having a tech friend or something like that. You remember like back
Yeah.
when you started coding, you had to have like a tech friend, right? How were
Mm.
you going to build if you didn't have like a tech friend? And I think what is interesting about events like this for the hackathon is that you can have no coding skills but be interested in solving a problem, and then you can meet people who do have the skills to create solutions. So I think it's very exciting what is happening in Asia. I mean, we know they jump fast in challenges.
Yeah.
Uh, that's something that everybody can agree on. So that's very exciting. But I'm guessing this first session is also to get everybody into the group of creating, which is the most exciting part. I think also the time we're living right now, where you just um, so many things are going on with the coronavirus, right? Like
Mm.
the health situation and everything, and most countries are in quarantine also. It's a great opportunity to have a space just to create and be focused into something and being productive. Um, for example, in France, there's a lot of people who are in chômage, which is basically for people who doesn't know French, which is like you are out of work, um, but you still get paid by the government. And so I think it's an amazing opportunity to try
Mm.
whatever dream idea you had of solving a problem or doing something to jump into the hackathon. I think that's one of the amazing things that initiatives like this come along. So it's a great thing that you're telling us all that Asia is already jumping on board. We're opening the doors also tomorrow for Europe, right?
Mhm.
And organizing the teams and having everybody on board to have some amazing projects by the end of these 4 days. I'm excited.
Cool, 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 cool. So, just to add also, because on the DFC late night, we don't talk just about the DFC act. We also we on the DFC late night we talk also about diversity for change, diversity for crisis. So, I want just to share my thought, and you should give you also your thought about this. So, I think that the next big revolution of our society is two things. The first thing is about millennials and also Gen Z, because Gen Z technically based, they are diverse, right? So it's a proof that in US more than the population in 2015 of 2040 will be like between 40 and 50%, 42% of Gen Z are totally diverse, like totally and ridiculously diverse. And for me, is a good sign. And another thing is this same generation are more open on ecology, on this New Deal ecology New Deal than the past generation. And I think is a good sign for the world. Like that means in the future, young generation will be more engaged than the
Yeah,
past, because this is a majority of this generation. What do you think about this generation?
I do feel like um, a lot has been done, you know? Like,
Mm.
you know, when you're little, that you start, I think this is a generation that is definitely coming in an amazing time because these are all the things that you're hearing when you're growing up. So I think right now is very normal for a kid of 5 or 6 years old to be listening about sustainability or global warmth or diversity, inclusion, social problems, whereas before it was like you had to change the way you did things and question the things you learned. So to not be so hard on the generations before, it's also a lot of trouble to dismantle everything that you have learned.
Yeah.
Whereas, where if you're coming into this generation, then you already know all these things, and they're there, and that those are the things you're learning. So I think each generation, I think Gen Zs and millennials have a great deal of like pointing out like things that weren't working before. And I think the work for previous generations is to like sort of dismantle and rebuild everything according to the world that's changing. And
Mm.
I mean, for everybody, change is sometimes scary. Um, Not everybody feels comfortable with change. I mean, that's a trait that us entrepreneurs we have because we love challenges.
Mm.
But not everybody is like that. So I think like Gen Zs have this amazing thing that where they're just jumping in into this train that is already going. And I do feel like they're incredibly important just to pave the way and build the stepping stones for a future generation and for future projects and companies. So I'm really excited about what is going to happen on the following 20 years.
Yeah, it will be just like amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
Facebook of the future, you know?
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
what is going to be in 20 years, what these people is going to be creating.
yeah.
That is
Yeah,
exciting,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah.
It's so cool.
Totally agree. And another thing very interesting for this new decade is I think the remote also, because as I said that on this DFC late night we talk also about the trend. So I think the trend right now is,
Mhm.
first of all, about this new generation, I already say, but also I think the remote will be the norm. Like do things
Yeah,
online will be the norm, and
yeah,
all this technology like VR, AI will be important, because when you don't like travel and you can go some place, you need to have this VR, just to have a possibility to sense and touch. and see
Yeah.
something, but in the real area, etc. And I think this coronavirus, this pandemic will accelerate all these emerging technologies, and also the delivery system, like how to use. Some people say, "Oh, the drone is not good," but right now I think drone will be helpful, because if you can, if we have the social and distance, and you can touch any human being, what you can touch is finally you will be a robot in a drone, right? So, what do you think about this acceleration of all these kind of technologies actually?
Well, I just think it was truly incredible to see all the change overnight in markets after coronavirus, right?
Mm,
Like entire industries died, and entire industries just received such a huge push of investment. Um, like digital technologies, I mean the growth curve of soon was insane. And I mean the stock market, I think I read this post, a very interesting tweet about like the stock market knew it was coming like before the coronavirus had even hit, because when you see like the graphic, it's very interesting to see how it's starting to move forward to that. And I just feel like it's these new technologies that come from situations like a pandemic, like the one we live in, just improve and fuel so much things that were already happening. Like
mm,
we are all hungry for new cultures and to get to know other people and to change the way we think about. And when we talk about trends, it's like what happened with planes before. When
mm,
people was able to travel beyond the ocean, that was an incredible, amazing thing that completely changed the world. Um, and cut distances. And so I think as humans, you have seen like this incredible need to keep the connections as closer as we can. And I definitely think that the era we're living in and these type of technologies like AI and virtual reality are going to be on top of that and are going to be really feeding our need to be closer, like in an instant, just with a click. Like before, when we were talking about it's just a link, and then we can be having this conversation. And I just think we're just going to keep developing in top of that, like future reality and trying to be closer, all of these things. Especially, I feel with like what we're experiencing right now, which is hard to connect with people because we're on a health situation that prevents a little bit like in real life connections, but we still are humans, and so we all need the exchange.
mm,
So I think it's pretty obvious what is going to happen, and I just think it's just a proof that some of the technologies we have been built in have been like also like kind of intuitive of what could happen in the future. I do feel like it's something we should take care and look at it closely because, I mean, real life connections are also meaningful. But I believe the digital skin that you see over cities is going to be huge. There's going to be so much more ways to relate to each other and to build new bridges, which is always exciting and it's always such an amazing opportunity and a train for diversity. So I think it's an amazing time right now to be talking about diversity.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Totally agree. And you know, so I think like for example, I actually I start. I don't know if you are on a part of this platform, but let me know because sometimes I have some invitation. I'm a part of Clubhouse, and I start
Mhm.
recently a club called Diversity Club. We like
Mhm.
just in this year, and in 3 weeks right now we are more than 300 people. And
Amazing.
clubhouse is a place for famous people or people thoughtful, like thought leader,
Mhm.
etc., etc. And
Mhm.
having 300 thought leader follow you on a one club is just amazing. And I learn a lot because when I'm there, I expand my knowledge and I saw how diversity is so powerful. Because actually, the founder of Clubhouse made the apps very inclusive. That means
Mhm.
they think so much in inclusive design. For example, in terms of icon, so the mostly when you saw some apps, the icon is like just the logo, but they
Mhm.
then use some face in the network,
Mhm.
and every time they change, they can, for example, choose a Latino people for like for 3 months, and this Latino
Mhm.
people, girl or man, is the face of the apps during 3 months. It's impressive. I never seen
Yeah.
that before. So that means if I'm Latino and I saw these apps and I saw a Latina face, for sure I will use, because it feel this
Exactly.
app talk to me, right? So and I
Mhm.
think the more we engage, we create inclusive product for this new trend, the more we can also help our country and some continent to be like more free, more involved and engaged and spend their development. And for this stage, I have a question for you. So,
Mhm.
as a Latinx, so first of all, can you help us to have more Latinx on the America's challenge?
Of course.
This is the first question, because we need a Latino. We need also having. My dream is having a DFC late night in Spanish. So help me to have
Yes,
a,
we
yeah,
can definitely do a Spanish session. I would love to que hablemos en
yeah,
español.
yeah. So habla un poquito. I understand, but I can talk
Hablo un
good.
poquito. You know that
Yeah, un poquito.
everybody says that
Yeah, I
when
can
they
say,
tell you
I
that.
can say,
Hablo un poquito.
I saw Costa de Marfil. Mi nombre es Baseli.
That's
I like a muchacha. I saw no mujer.
it. Mujer with the French accent. I love it. The
Yeah,
mujer.
yeah, with the French accent. So yeah, definitely, if you can help us to have a lot of more
Of
Latinx, it
course.
will be very good, because I want it's
Mhm.
my dream. I want this station in Spanish, and for the DSC late night. So the second question I have, because I have the answer about having more. You can help us to have more Latinx in our Discord, in our hackathon. The second question is,
Yeah.
as a Latinx, what do you think in terms of like politician development, tech development, and economical development? How so actually, for example, Latinx people accept their diversity. So how they involve young people involved in their development, how they think about create a bridge between I don't know, Africa and Latin America, and Latin America and Asia, because these places are different, but we are
Mhm.
in a common general history about the colonization and slavery, etc., and so
Yeah.
on. So
Mhm.
how do you saw this, this future for Latin
Mhm.
for Latin America, and how the Latino people or Latinx think now in terms of growth?
Well, I do feel like we have always, for example, me that I'm Venezuelan, we have always had a really strong connection with countries abroad. We are huge on international people, like we have been opening our doors ever since the Second World War, and in Spain, for example. So we have a lot of European migration in Latin America, and I just feel like that from the root, like when the country started, we have always had this notion of diversity. So for us, it's like a really common conversation
Mm,
to be talking about being diverse, and I just do feel like, for example, what you see in the phenomenon of music, like if you hear Latin music, which has created like amazing hits for the past 10 to 15 years, is because we always talk to so many countries. Like, I
mm,
mean, I don't know if anything, any people from the audience remember the phenomenon with Pitbull, but he like naming his songs like every country there is in the world.
mm,
Um, and I just feel like that is really imprinted in who we are. And of course, we have always had this amazing connection or interest in to know what is going on in the future, and what is going on in the world. And I mean, for example, for a country like mine, Venezuela and Colombia, which we have like a strong connection with the U.S., we have always known and understood this culture. It had always been like a dream to be part of the U.S. also. And so we have so many cultures that are alike. And I feel right now for us Latin people, it's sort of kind of a moment like we realize like, hey, we're pretty amazing. I mean, we're we're doing some amazing things for the world, and we have this these traditions and these rituals that people love, and we have this personality that people want, and we are creating these really interesting things. And so I feel like for Latin culture is a very interesting moment of like we're more like, okay, listen, we have some things to say to the world, because before, I think like 20 years before, 15 years before, we were more like, oh, we want to be like them. We want to, let's do things how are done in the US. Let's do things how is done in Europe. And I just feel like every day more like in the creative world of like the people we're at, and the people who are building things were more like, okay, these are our roots, these are our values, and we know these things are important for the world. And so, for example, a person like me, like the Latin culture is so big into creating connections, into building incredible connections, into making feel people welcome. That is only obvious that I will be building a network, for example. So that's something that's a skill that is imprinted within my culture, and that as a Latin person, I just feel and I say like, listen, we have this particular way of do this and to maintain relationships, and this is something that the world needs. And so that's pretty interesting for me also. And I think with like globalization, I think one of the ways we have been able to widely showcase our culture is through music. And so like everybody knows Despacito, for example, which is
Yeah,
something like
I'm the
you
first.
know.
I'm the first.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
And this sounds like something that is silly, but I mean, even that Despacito is like it's an expression that is it's very Latin. Like you have to do things with care. You have to do things with passion. You have to do things good. You have to do things well. So I think like I always have loved like those little vehicles that culture finds to preserve themselves. I think also that happens with Africa and Asia. And I mean, you can definitely recognize the differences in culture. So for example, in Asia, the productivity aspect of their personalities, and I do feel like for Latin America, it's sort of like who we are as people,
Mm,
open people and loving people and passionate people and
yeah.
determined people. Um, so yeah, I think it's a very interesting moment.
Cool. 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 So we are more no far and close to the end of this first late night. I would just give before my some news and statement I would share. I would just yeah just
Share some news of the hackathon, specifically the hackathon.
yeah, yeah, some news about the hackathon, but I will just I want to just keep a little bit time just to say thank you to you before. So thanks so much for your time, for your commitment, and thanks so much for all things you do. And
Sure.
I'm more than happy and excited to have my my Spanish this DFC late night show. I
Yeah,
wait to do my cha cha cha, my salsa, and my rumba, right? And
and
my
like in my
merengue,
room.
and
Yes, I'm very good.
so
I'm more than happy.
yeah, 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 and so thank you, and for the news, my people. So tomorrow,
Mhm.
it depends where you are or in Asia, in Europe, or in US. So your tomorrow, so many things. Normally, we have a live for the beginning of the Americana live for the Americana challenge or
Mhm.
America's challenge. So we will It will be very short. I will explain what is the DFC arc, etc. I will share some link, good vibes, etc. As I do all the time. Now it will be not my third live, or my third live for this, but my fourth live, because I do the right now the DFC late night show, four live in less than 1 days, and normally I have a lot of live to do again. So just to serve your my people, and yeah. So the news is tomorrow we have normally on tomorrow we have the live for the beginning of the American Challenge. And after
Mhm.
that, normally at 10 a.m. CST time, we have Taramoa again for the live beginning of the European Challenge. She will,
Yeah,
after this live, she will help us to have more European people engaged, more Latinx people engaged on the hackathon. So to have more team. So, and
yeah,
she will explain more what is the importance of diversity, etc., etc. And normally after her at 12, we have a workshop. It will be not public. It will be just for the members. So on opt-in, no, on the DFC TV. If you are a
hmm,
part of the hackathon, you go on opt-in. If you are not a part of the hackathon, go to our open link. I will show you right now the open link. Is a good and amazing link for people who want to join us. Like, you join us on opin.to/event/GFC um 2020, and you will find this amazing event. Also, if you are not a part of the hackathon, join us there. You join us on this link. Join us on link.connectglobal.alpha/hack. Simple like that. So do this, and yeah. So you will have the this amazing workshop on no coding, and after that we will save who my Michelle from Flick. She will
Michelle
explain.
from Flickr, which is amazing.
Yeah, the friend. She's a friend of our Tara. She will explain
Yeah,
how to do a inclusive, how to create an inclusive workplace. You know, and amazing thing. So just go on our different platform to show the calendars. I will also put the link of the calendar for the next live. Like, it will be more easier for me to show you the link of the calendar, right? So very happy to see you again, and don't forget. So tweet, post, share on GFC Arc, the hashtag. So the last word is for Chara. Chara, what is the last thing
yeah.
you want to share to the people? What the vibes, the Latinx vibes you want to share right now?
Well, I just feel like this is a great 4 days for creation. So get everything that you dreamt of doing, that you wish you could do, that you feel like needs to be done, and use it during these 4 days to do something amazing with the fellow people and the incredible people you can find here. And definitely use all of the resources that the Diversity Hackathon has built for you. So you can have amazing companies and can have amazing results. And of course, have fun, because I mean, there's nothing that's more fun than creating new things.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So thanks so much, and see you next time, my people.
So
You